Hello, how are you? Today in this lecture we will learn about characteristics of a society and community. Let us begin. The functional perspective defines society in terms of reciprocal relationships among individual members. From the point of functional perspective, there are reciprocal relationships among the members of a society. Yes, in the functional perspective, society is like a team with individuals collaborating and supporting one another. It is about a reciprocal relationships where everyone plays a part to make the community function smoothly. Think of it as teamwork where each person's contribution contributes to the well-being of the whole society. Let us move to structural perspective of society, which reads as the structural perspective approaches the study of society in terms of the total social heritage of folkways, norms, mores, and institution of habits, sentiments, and ideals. Yes, the structural perspective examines society by delving into the entire social heritage. What are structures of society as customs, rules, traditions, and institutions? It is like understanding the collective habits, values, and ideals that people inherit, shaping the way they live together. It is about exploring the foundations that define how a community operates and interacts, how institutions interact, how traditions, rules are derived from one another, from generation to generation, customs, norms, mores, and at last laws. Society essentially consists of mutual interrelations of individuals and is also the structure formed by these relationships. What does this mean? Society is basically about how people relate to each other. It is not only group of people. It is like a structure created by these relationships. So when individuals interact and form connections, they collectively shape what we call society. The last point on this slide is society is an independent, culturally self-sufficient territorial unit, independent from other society, culturally self-sufficient territorial unit. We can say that society is a stand-alone group with its own culture, self-sustaining within a specific territory. It operates independently, fostering a shared way of life and sustaining itself culturally within its boundaries. Some very important characteristics of societies are likeliness, differences, interdependence, and cooperation. As first point here is likeness as well as differences, interdependence and cooperation are essential to constitute a society. Society is formed by both similarities and differences among people. Remember, there are similarities as well as differences among people in society. It thrives on interdependence. It is not totally independent. Where individuals rely on each other and cooperation, where working together becomes essential. These elements collectively shape and define the fabric of a society. August Comte analyzed the development of society from theological to metaphysical to scientific stages. Very important. August Comte studied how society evolves, processing through theological, which is based on religion, metaphysical, these are actually abstract principles derived from different sources time to time, to scientific stages, which is based on empirical and evidence based. Today we are living in scientific stage. He observed a shift in the way people understand and explain the world, moving from religious explanations to more rational and scientific perspectives over time. Remember, there will be a question and about these three stages: theological, metaphysical, and scientific. Who have given these three stages of society? Auguste Comte. Next is Morgan. Morgan analyzed development of society in terms of its movement from primitive to barbaric to civilized stages of development. His full name was Lewis Henry Morgan. He explored the progression of societies through primitive, barbaric, and civilized stages. He examined how human communities advanced from simple, less organized forms to more complex and sophisticated structures, marking shifts in social, technological, and cultural development across these distinct stages of social evolution. What are food gathering, agrarian, and industrial societies? Yes, on the basis of technology and means of living. On the basis of technology and means of living. Sociologists have divided society into hierarchical stages of the very first society was hunting, and then food gathering, agrarian, and industrial society. Actually, hunting society is part of the broader category of food gathering. Primarily rely on hunting and fishing for subsistence. They rely on hunting and fishing for sustenance. Members hunt animals and gather plants for food, adapting to their natural environment. The lifestyle characterized early human societies before the advent of agriculture. They were food gathering communities or societies. Food gathering societies rely on hunting and gathering. Agrarian societies focus on farming and cultivating crops, while industrial societies center around manufacturing and technology. These represent different stages in human history, each with distinct economic systems and ways of life, reflecting advancements in technology and societal organizations. Community exists within society. Remember, community exists within society, not society exists within community. Remember this thing. Possessing its structure which distinguishes it from other communities. Yes, a community is like a smaller group living inside a bigger society. It has its own structure that makes it different from other groups. This structure includes rules, relationships, and ways of doing things that define the community within the larger society. Some characteristics of community are territory, mutuality, and organized interaction. Territory, mutuality, and organized interaction are the three characteristics of a community. Let us explain it more. You see, a community is defined by three key features. Remember, a community is defined by three key features. First, territory, which is a specific area where people live together. Mutuality, indicating shared interests and connections among community members. And organized interaction involving structured ways in which individuals engage with each other, forming a cohesive and interactive social units. Community has four aspects. And what are these four aspects? Yes, geographical, psychological, demographic, and cultural. Remember, a community has geographical aspects related to its location, psychological aspects involving shared feelings and connections among members, demographic aspects tied to the population characteristics. There may be very new, old, very different characteristics of population. Small people, large people, fat people, black people, Chinese society, Indian society, Kashmiri society, Punjabi society, and cultural aspects encompassing shared traditions and ways of life. These elements collectively define the identity and nature of a community. What elements define identity and nature of community? Yes, geographical, psychological, demographic, and cultural. And community is characterized by a community sentiment or we feeling, that is a feeling of belongingness. We feeling is a feeling of belongingness. Community is defined by a shared sentiment or we feeling, a sense of belonging among its members, fostering a collective identity and connection. They seem to be one. In community, people feel they are one. Next is very important concept which was given by Fernand Tonis. Actually, he gave us two concepts, Gemeinschaft and Gesellschaft. First, let we see Gemeinschaft. It is a concept by Fernand Tonis, may be called a community in which members are united and think about the welfare of the other. Some scholars said that Ferdinand Tonis called community Gemeinschaft. And what he actually mean it? He mean it that a community where members are closely bounded, prioritizing the well-being of each other, it emphasizes the strong social ties, and a sense of shared responsibility that he called Gemeinschaft. That means Gemeinschaft is equal to community. Next is Gesellschaft. Gesellschaft, an ideal type constructed by, again, Ferdinand Tönnies, is a community characterized by impersonal and contractual relationships. Impersonal and contractual relationships like trade associations. That means Gesellschaft of Ferdinand Tönnies is equal to association. Gemeinschaft is equal to community and Gesellschaft is equal to association. Gesellschaft by Ferdinand Tönnies represents a community with impersonal and contractual connections akin to trade associations. It reflects a more modern structured society where relationships are based on utility and efficiency rather than the intimate and personal bonds found in Gemeinschaft. Emile Durkheim analyzes community in terms of organic and mechanical solidarity, depending on the nature of division of labor as simple or complex. Very, very important concept in sociology as well as in subtopics of society. What does Emile Durkheim said about a community? He divided communities into broad forms, that is organic and mechanical. Emile Durkheim examined communities through the concepts of organic and mechanical solidarity. In simple terms, mechanical solidarity exists in simpler societies with shared values, while organic solidarity is found in complex societies, modern societies, where people depend on each other's specialized roles, creating a more interdependent social structure. In mechanical solidarity, everyone is specialized. Uh, Almost in every work. But in organic solidarity, there are different persons with different specializations. The main features of Robert Redfield's little community are smallness, distinctiveness, homogeneity, and self-sufficiency. The main features of Robert Redfield's little communities are smallness, distinctiveness, homogeneity, and self-sufficiency. These are characteristics of a small little community which was given by us Robert Redfield. Robert Redfield was an anthropologist. Robert Redfield's little community is characterized by being small, distinctive, homogeneous, and self-sufficient. It is a compact social unit with a unique identity, shared characteristics, and ability to meet its own needs. Next is community may be of four types that we call the village or rural, city or urban, and third one is nation, and fourth is world community. Yes, communities come in four types: village, rural areas with small population, cities, urban areas with large populations, nations defined by shared identity and governance, and the world encompassing global connections and interactions among diverse nations and communities. Society, an abstract concept, is a network of relationships. What is society actually? It is abstract concept. It is network of relationships. But community is a group of people living in a particular locality, having a feeling of oneness. Society is a broad idea representing interconnected relationships, while community is a specific group residing in one place, sharing a sense of unity. Society encompasses diverse connections, whereas a community is a localized, closely knit unit of fostering a shared identity and a feeling of togetherness among its members. There is we feeling in community, and the location is very important in community. Where society is an abstract concept which is a network of relationships. This was all about today's lecture. Thank you. Stay blessed.